Hi, my name is Vaibhav. I'm a product manager at Google Cloud, and I'm excited to be a part of the launch of Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform. Joining me here today is Spencer.
Hi there, my name is Spencer Tellman. I'm an AI security product manager at Palo Alto Networks.
So, what a great time to be in this industry as we are in a very quick span seeing use cases go quickly from AI chatbots to autonomous AI systems. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing from Palo Alto Networks in enterprises?
That certainly mirrors what we've been seeing, which is for the last few years, we've helped our customers to secure their chatbots. And if you think about what a chatbot is it's an inherently passive, non-deterministic system. A user asks a question, a response goes back to them, and until the next question comes in, the interaction is over. So the main way to secure a chatbot is to check inputs and outputs for risks or threats, and then block these things before they go into or come back out of the AI model. And we do that with Prisma Air's runtime security. But agents differ from chatbots in the way that they're autonomous. They take action on behalf of users. They invoke tools, and they also have memory, just like you and I do. So it's those things that make an agent powerful, their autonomy, their memory, and their tool use, that also make them risky. We have to think about the downsides of autonomy. What if an agent does something it isn't meant to do? Memory manipulation, and also tool misuse.
Awesome. And so this is exactly where Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform comes in, where with Agent Gateway, we can transparently intercept all of those agent calls and agent interactions, and at runtime, apply security guardrails right in the network path itself. And so could you tell us a little bit more about how Palo Alto AI Runtime Security is integrating with Agent Gateway?
Certainly, we've spent the last few months building out that integration, and how it works is whenever an agent makes a tool call to an MCP server through Google Cloud, or a tool response comes back to the agent, or a list tool command is invoked, we attach via a service extension. That tool call, tool response, or list tool command goes to the Prisma Air's runtime API. We inspect it for threats. And if we identify that there's some kind of malicious material in the content that was sent to us, we will send a block action back to Google Cloud where the connection is terminated.
Interesting. And so could you talk a little bit about how this maps to an overall AI agentic security framework and the way you're thinking about it from Palo Alto Networks?
Yeah, so a lot of the mental models from like chatbot security still apply. If I have an agent, I still have to think about prompt injections, toxic content, and even custom topics. Because let's say I built an agent to triage insurance claims. I probably want to make sure that that agent doesn't communicate to end users about financial advice, let's say. So a lot of what you know about securing chatbots still applies to agents. Yeah. But again, agents have autonomy, they have tool use and memory. So there's sort of a widened scope of threats that apply specifically to agents. And three examples of that could be things like MCP context poisoning, where the tool description of a tool behind an MCP server contains an indirect prompt injection attack that coerces the downstream model into doing things like leaking conversation history. We don't want that happening, so we have to inspect for it. Yeah. Another example might be an agent that accidentally sends credentials out to a tool when it shouldn't do that, like a cloud credential. We want to make sure that we're scanning all tool calls and tool responses for sensitive data loss prevention patterns so we can prevent that from occurring. And then the third example might be a malicious tool or server that starts to send malware or some other kind of malicious code snippet back down to the agent. If that occurs, the agent might run that code somewhere, which is generally something that we don't want happening.
That's right. And so, as you think about these security controls, as well as what we see in enterprises as the agentic sprawl, where very quickly enterprises moving from like tens to hundreds to even scaling to thousands of agents in their environments, how do you think about this as an overall enterprise security architecture?
Yeah, so 2026 is definitely the year that agents are going from experimentation to production. And with that, whenever I meet teams that are building in Google Cloud, we ultimately take them through a journey that's split into three main steps: discover, assess, and protect. So the first step is always discovery. We want to show our customers all of the AI apps, the models, the agents, the data, and the tools that they have within Google Cloud to sort of clear the fog when it comes to shadow AI. Yeah. The second step is to assess those assets that we've identified for risks. And we do that in three different ways. The first is to scan all of the AI model files for risks so that we know that we're only running benign models in production. The second is to check agent source code for known attack paths and then fix that within the source code. And the third is to actually red team those agents when they're running so that we understand which threats the agent is vulnerable to and which they aren't before a human being ever has access to the agent, so that we can ultimately protect those agents at runtime using our Prisma Errors API to check, again, tool calls, tool responses, inputs, and list tool commands for threats like prompt injections, toxic content, data loss prevention patterns, and malicious code. So ultimately, it's about discovery, assessment, and then protection.
Awesome. And so this is where I'm like so excited that Prisma Errors is integrated into Agent Gateway and Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform to integrate all of these rich security capabilities natively as part of your platform infrastructure, and thereby actually enable AI developers to innovate at scale.
I echo your excitement, and we're just getting started.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.